Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Java Graphics. Today we're going to be putting some basic shapes on the screen. We'll do some rectangles, we'll do some circles, and we'll even put some text on the screen. Now if you missed the first episode of this series, I'll put a link in the description below so you can catch up on whatever you've missed. Let's get started.
If you want to learn Java programming, or just programming in general, subscribe to this channel. We put out a lot of videos that range from beginner topics to more advanced programming concepts. Also, please like this video, share it with a friend, and write a comment as well. It goes a long way to help promote a channel like this. Now, let's get back to the video.
So here's a basic Java frame. Now a frame has a coordinate grid, just like a regular mathematical coordinate grid. There are some similarities and there are some differences. The upper left point is 0, 0. The lower right point is the width and the height. Now for our purposes, we set the width at 1,000 and the height at 500. So that'll be the coordinate of the lower right point of our frame. Now the x-coordinate increases as we move from left to right. That's similar to mathematics. However, the y-coordinate increases as we go from top to bottom. That's the opposite of mathematics. So that's something you may have to get used to. Now what happens if we want to draw a rectangle on our frame at position 100, 100? Well, first of all, we have to know that wherever we draw our rectangle, the upper left point is what we specify. So if we specify we want to draw the rectangle at 100, 100, the upper left point of our rectangle will appear at position 100, 100 on our frame. We also have to specify the width and the height of our rectangle so Java knows how to draw it. Let's head over to NetBeans and see how we can actually make a rectangle appear on the screen. Now remember what I said before. All graphics are drawn inside the Paint Component method. We have this thing here called a graphics object. Now this variable g comes with it a lot of methods that help us draw basic shapes. If I type g dot, you can see I pop up all of these different things. I can draw images, lines, ovals, polygons. Oh, rectangles. That's what we want. So let's try it. Draw rect. And then in parentheses, we're going to pass in the xy coordinate of the upper left point of our rectangle. We said that was going to be 100, 100. And then we're going to pass in the width. Let's say the width is 200. And let's make the height 50. So we're going to draw a rectangle at 100, 100, width 200, height 50. Let's run and see how it looks. And there it is. As you can see, the rectangle has been drawn. This is position 100, 100. Now, let's say we want to fill in the rectangle. Well, draw rectangle will draw an outline. There's another method on the graphics object called fill rectangle. And that will draw the same rectangle, but it's going to fill it in. Let's see. And there it is. Now you notice it's filled in black. I can change the color of that rectangle anytime I want. Right before I draw the rectangle, I can tell this graphics object, from now on, whatever you draw will be a different color. And the way I do that is I say g.setColor, and then in parentheses, I'm going to type capital C color dot blue. Okay? So this tells the graphics object, from now on, everything I draw after this line of code will be blue. And it will continue to be blue until I change the color again on the graphics object. And then it would be a different color. Now, as you can see, color is underlined in red, which means I need an import. And now let's run it. And there's our blue rectangle. Now let's try and draw an oval in Java. Now, it always helps in Java when you're drawing a circle or an oval to think of it as if there's a bounding box around it, a rectangle that's kind of bounding the oval so you can kind of see where the oval will sit. So we want to draw this oval at position 700, 300. That's not the center of the circle or oval as you would expect in a geometry class. Instead, it's the upper left point of the bounding rectangle around your oval. Now, you also have to specify a width and a height. Now, I know a circle will always have the same width and the same height. However, in Java, we don't have a method that allows us to draw a circle. We only have a method that allows us to draw an oval. So we do have to specify the width, which is actually the horizontal diameter of our oval. The height is the vertical diameter of the oval. Let's go to NetBeans and give it a shot. Okay, here we are. After our rectangle, let's draw a different color. So we've drawn a blue rectangle. Now let's set color equal to color dot, let's make it yellow. And now we're going to call our method G dot, and let's take a look. What do we have here? We have draw oval, but we also have fill oval. Draw will draw the outline, fill will draw the filled in version of our oval. And of course we take in 4 parameters, the X, the Y, the width, and the height. So here we go. Fill oval. We'll pass in, what do we say, 700, 300, and let's make it 150 wide and 100 tall. Here we go. And there's our oval. Remember, the 700, 300 position is up here. It's not the middle. Now let's say we want to put some text on the screen at position 400, 400. Now normally when we were drawing a rectangle, the position 400, 400 was the upper left. With text, it's a little different. It's actually the lower left. So let's go to NetBeans and put some text on the screen. All right, so the first thing we have to do is we have to tell Java what font we're going to use. So let's create a new variable, f, and we'll create a new font. And in here, we're going to tell it what kind of font. So we can use Arial, and then we pass in a parameter, font.bold, which means we're going to want our font to be bold. And then we pass in the point size. So let's go with point size 30. Okay, there are lots of different options you can do here. If you just type the dot, it'll tell you you can use the italic, plain, and so on, right? We're going to use bold. All right, now that we've created our font, we're going to tell our graphics object from now on, any text that you make will use this font. G dot set font, and we'll pass in F. Okay, now that we've set our font and our graphics object, we're going to draw our string. And the way we do that is we pass in what we want to draw, hello world, and we then tell it the position. So just for learning purposes, I'm going to pass in 100, 100 instead of the 400, 400 that we talked about on the slide. I'm going to show you that this actually is the lower left position because the rectangle's upper left position is 100, 100. Now, there's something that I also forgot to do. See here, we set the color to blue, we drew our rectangle. Then we set the color to yellow, we drew our oval. If we draw our string here without changing the color, the graphics object has already been set to draw everything in yellow starting from this line of code. So our text will appear in yellow. It may be a little hard to read. So let's change the color. And we will set it to color dot, how about we go with red this time? Okay. Let's run it and see if it works. And there it is, hello world. You notice the lower left position of the text is the upper left position of our rectangle. Now let's change it to 400, 400, which is where we wanted it in the first place. And there it is.
I hope you learned something from watching this video. Please remember to subscribe and share this video with others who are learning Java programming. Thanks for watching, and take care, everyone.